still really tonight working on Egypt and this one. Who's organizing these riots? And what role are Marxists playing? What are the causes? We've already talked about food storage and poverty and oppression. Those are all real. But tonight, we're going to focus here, because nobody else will. And I have to tell you, I don't think I have ever seen the left react as quickly as they did to my theory that I shared with you. What was this, Oscar? Was this Monday? Monday? Yeah, Monday. Monday I told you, not a theory of the caliphate. This is fact. Caliphate. And I showed you how it could happen. And I was driving in this morning, and I'm listening to Fox and Friends, and I hear this woman get on, and she starts saying that, Glen Beck is crazy, these crazy theories. I want you to hear it. Actually, she didn't say it exactly like that, so play it. This is from the Daily Beast contributor.
Well, I find it astonishing that so many Republicans, on the one hand, crowed about democracy spreading throughout the Middle East when they were preparing to go to war with Iraq. And now that we actually see an uprising of the Egyptian people demanding the right to self-determination, there's not just skepticism, but kind of outright hostility, right? Your own network has been running absolutely, lunatic theories about this being some kind of conspiracy between Van Jones, Code Pink, Hamas, and the Muslim Brotherhood. What?
Yeah. It's real. You're going to feel bad for her at the bottom of the hour. You are, because it's so, it's really like a fourth grade argument. They were reacting with surprise afterwards, like, what? I've never heard that. Because she's 100% wrong. First of all, that's not the network's theory. That's not Fox's theory. That's my theory. My theory. And it's not Van Jones or anything else. Let me ask you this. Let's start here. Since when is having a theory, when you're trying to figure out what's going on, a bad thing in America? And it's really less theory than it is facts in their own words. But, just in case, let me show you what my theory is. And I stand by it. Just everybody on the left, this is my theory. And I stand by every word of it. Groups from the hardcore socialist and communist left and extreme Islam will work together because of the common enemy of Israel and the Jews. Do I have to remind you what happens to Jews under communism? Or how friendly they've been to Israel? Do I? Or how about the extreme Islam? Oh no, it's going to be good. Groups from the hardcore socialist left and extreme Islam and communism will work together because of the common enemy of capitalism and the Western way of life. It's not just capitalism, it's not the United States, it's your way of life in the West. And I stand by that. Groups from the hardcore socialist left and communism and extreme Islam will work together to overturn relative stability because in the status quo they are both ostracized from power and the mainstream in most parts of the world. That's, here, I'll even put it up for you. Glen's theory. There it is. Got it? That's it, and I stand by it. Is it so far-fetched, really? Should tell you something that the left has ramped up the spin machine so quickly on this one. Maybe it hits too close to home, do you think? It'd be a crazy theory if I only had, them saying catchphrases like social justice. Then it would be a theory and it'd be pretty thin. We have that. Watch.
I do believe that when the Sharia is implemented, and you have the education system of Islam, and you have the social and economic justice, suddenly the penal code needs to be implemented.
People expected the U.S. to be on the side of the people, who are legitimate needs for democracy, social justice.
All right, that would be a crazy theory. That would be nuts. Okay, we told you about social justice. It's a code word. Not every time you hear it, but you should question it every time you hear it. Because it's a code word. Come from the Fabian Society, the communists, and the progressives here in America. It's really used mainly by those with an agenda or those who are just oblivious to what it really means, where the origins are from. Now, if that's the only evidence I had to support my theory, then it wouldn't be a very strong case and I'd probably be off the air. That's why we've devoted this entire week of shows to diving deeper into this story, far deeper than the, oh so intellectual pro-anti-Mubarak demeaning news that they dumb down. Because, I think most people just believe you're a simpleton who can't decide for themselves. I know you can. I've even told you, don't take my word on anything. You've proved it. I told you on, Monday, when I did this, or Tuesday, I said, please look this up. I said, pause the show and look up the word caliphate. This is a word that the left is dismissing as a crazy conspiracy theory. It's weird that they're dismissing it as a crazy conspiracy theory because that's exactly what Cass Sunstein said in a White House memo, that you should dismiss people as crazy conspiracy theorists, even, quoting, even if some conspiracies end up being true, they do not cease to be conspiracy theories for that reason. Ow. You learned from Cass Sunstein. You get out of here, you knuckleheads. You didn't take their word for it. You didn't take my word for it. Let me show you the Google Trend report from the day of that episode. Here's the chart. Caliphate. Oh, by the way, we're on at 2 p.m. West. Caliphate went to #1 on Google Trends. You see the spike? That's when this program is on. So let me first humbly thank you for not taking my word for it. Humbly thank you for not sitting there as a mindless boob or stooge. When I ask you to do your own homework, you do. Thank you. If you did, caliphate is not some crazy conspiracy. It's what the Muslim Brotherhood talks about. In fact, let me show you this. I love this over here. Remember, Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. This is what they talked about. Caliphate. Hamas. Birthed by the Muslim Brotherhood. They talk about it. In fact, they've openly pined for a caliphate. After Hamas won sweeping Palestinian legislative elections in 2006, they declared it an important springboard towards the establishment of the caliphate. End quote. The Iran foreign minister said the anti-government protests in Egypt were a sign of an Islamic renaissance. Wait a minute, hang on just a second. The guys, are you telling me, Glenn, that the guys in Iran are saying they want a caliphate too? Yes, I am. But I'm just quoting them. Look it up. The Prime Minister of Turkey. The Prime Minister of Turkey belongs to an organization that wants to resurrect the caliphate. So the idea may be crazy. I think it's crazy. A global Islamic order. Yep. That sounds crazy. But don't shoot the messenger. Because it's not my idea. It's their idea. It's not their idea. It's their written and stated goal. It's really funny. I remember back in '99 taking Osama bin Laden seriously. Because I didn't have a horse in the race. I couldn't care about politics. I could care less. I cared about my country. And when he threatened to kill Americans in our own land, I read his words. And I said, this guy's not stupid. I think maybe we should read it. And we should take him at his word. I warned at the time that New York would have blood, bodies, and buildings in the street. Yeah, the media brushed it off. No, don't pay attention to it. Please don't let history repeat itself. They want a caliphate. And it's not just the Muslim Brotherhood or Hamas. There are several. And yes, the Sunni and the Shia, they do argue. They hate each other. But they'll sort that out after they kill everybody else they hate more. They are telling you these things. But anybody who mentions it is the crazy conspiracy theorist. Let me ask you, which is more crazy? Taking people who have already demonstrated that they can behead people in the name of God at their own words, or calling somebody crazy who is repeating their own words and showing you the videotape of what they want and asking you to take them seriously. Which one's more crazy?